Well, hello. It's Thursday evening, and I have this handy dandy light fixture thingy. Which one do I like the best? I see I have two people here tonight. I'm still trying to get things organized here. Okay, I think I'm ready. So, how's everybody doing today? It's been a really nice day here in Indiana. It's a little cooler today, and the trees are getting really pretty, and this is my favorite time of year. And I had a couple things I thought I'd get started talking about. I just finished dinner. I'm so sorry. I've got some loose meat floating more than you wanted to know. I probably just lost a person. Hi, Marguerite. How are you? I was, my daughter and I were in Michigan yesterday. We went to Hidden Hidden Garden Lake. No, Hidden Lake Garden in Tipton, Indiana. And it was really pretty there. I can tell. I I hate it when I see people's light glare on their glasses, so I'll try to look down. Maybe I'll take my glasses off for a second. But anyways, we've been in a drought in Indiana, and I woke up yesterday morning and it was cloudy out, and in the bottom left-hand corner of my computer it said drizzle. I'm going, drizzle. There's no rain in the forecast. So, so I looked, and sure enough, from Lansing on down, there was this huge green rain cloud. And hi from northern Nevada. Oh, hi, Melanie. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. So, anyways, I texted my daughter. I said it's raining up in Michigan. And we did okay. By the time we got to Michigan, everything had dried out, and we had a really nice day up there. So we're both we don't like to be in crowds. And we like going out in nature. And Hidden Lake Gardens has a huge botanical and conservatory, and we enjoy looking at plants and stuff. My daughter, she likes growing succulent plants, so I don't really like them, but she does. I have a few around my house. I've gotten some of her transplants. But we had a fun day. We did a lot of laughing and giggling, so that's always good. So, Melanie, doesn't you don't like being out in crowds either. And Marguerite says about the Michigan the weather, they say if you don't like the weather, wait 10 minutes. So they say that here in Indiana too. But we really did need the rain, and when we were in Michigan, we asked a lady, we were in a little gift shop, asked if it had been dry up there, and they said yes. So we do need the rain. And today it's sunny again. Go figure. But one fun thing we did, and I don't get out much, I really don't. I'm pretty much a homebody, and we were just before Coldwater, Michigan. It was about 2 o'clock, and we hadn't eaten lunch yet. And we found this um, ice cream stores, Udder, and I don't remember the second name of it. And so we ate lunch there, and their food was so good. And you couldn't even eat inside. You ordered, like at an ice cream store, and we sat in the car, and we had some chicken fajitas that were fabulous. And your hometown, what town you're from Coldwater? I was trying to remember what I just said. So I forget the second half of the name. And then they had really good ice cream. So we we enjoyed that, and it was kind of funny because we were driving by some of the fast foods. There was a McDonald's and a Subway or something, and I'm going, no, no, no. And I said, let's try something we've never been to before. So that was a hit. But Marguerite, you live you live up near the UP now though, don't you? So you're a long ways from home. And and yesterday morning, I was get on my I was look at my checking account online every morning. So I got online and oh, you're in the upper lower peninsula. Okay. So you're up north. You're over the Mackinac Bridge. So that's quite a drive from Coldwater. Probably a good 5 hour drive, depending how slowly you drive in Michigan. In Michigan, I drive 80 because I'll get run over if I'm not. You're under the bridge. You're an upper. I'm sorry. I read your comment wrong. You're an upper lower peninsula of Michigan. And you're under the bridge. And it's pretty up there too. So anyways, I opened up my bank account and I got $18 from Social Security and I got my regular Social Security already. So I had to go online and look. And Social Security, they don't give you any detail. And what I gathered was I worked part-time last year and evidently my income went up enough that I got a $2 a month raise. So the $18 was 9 months. Yes, the other side in Jonesville. That was such a cool place. Have you been there? And so, anyways, I've got my pre-cola raise. I got a $2 increase. I think my daughter took a picture of the place because they named all the ice creams and stuff. Oh, you just looked it up. They they had cool names for all the different kinds of ice cream and everything. They were very creative. And yeah, what a raise. I'm not sure I can handle $2 a month. And I was kind of hoping originally the 2026 COLA was supposed to come out on October 15th. So I was going to do a YouTube video and post it yesterday. Well, with the government shutdown, I guess that's been delayed until October 24th. Yep, we'll find out on the 24th. They're still predicting between 2.7 and 2.8%. And I saw on YouTube, I was watching a YouTube channel. I watch a lot of YouTube. And this guy, I think he was a certified financial planner. So I thought COLA is cost of living adjustment. It's for Social Security for people that are 65 and over. Well, I guess you can start collecting at the age of 62, but the cost of living raise always begins in January, and then we usually know in mid October what our Social Security is going up by. And anyways, I was listening to this certified planner, and he was talking that Trump was gonna give retired people $2,000 raise, check, not a raise, but a $2,000 check. So I've been surfing the internet, and I can't find anything about it. QQ1651. You're simple but not single, but here to support. Well, that's okay. And QQ, I think I've seen you before, but I don't remember your name. I saw you on another channel. And I'm starting to write people's stuff down because so I'll remember people. QQ 1651. And I don't mind answering questions. So I did find out. Well, our Social Security raise is in January. Oh, you're Susie. Okay, hi Susie. And I know we've talked before. Oh gosh, that's too bad. Melanie says she got a raise from Social Security when Biden signed the bill, the Fairness Act. but she was cut over $300 a month based on a retirement plan from another entity. So you must have worked for the government or the teacher union or something. Oh, Susie, you were here last week. Okay, I'm so sorry. As I'm starting to write things down. So, oh, but oh, police and fire. Okay. And aren't they going to change that? I thought there was something, I don't know if it was in the big beautiful bill. There was some talk about changing that if you had multiple retirement plans. And I didn't pay much attention because it didn't involve me. Isn't that awful? And I didn't know if it went through or not. But so our COLA is going up. For the average person, whatever average is, it'd be around $52 to $54 a month. And you're not forgettable. I just don't remember well. And I'm answering Susie. And but our Medicare insurance is going up. Oh, I wrote it down somewhere. Right now it's $185. I think it's going up to $206 in January. So that's an increase of $21, if I remember correctly. So about half of our COLA raise will be offset by insurance premiums. So that was my exciting news for the week. I know you win some, you lose some. So, um, yeah, I'm one of those. I didn't save a whole lot for retirement, but I did some wise things. I paid down my debt. I did the Dave Ramsey plan. And actually, I retired 4 years ago and my car was getting really old, so I temped and I worked a part-time job for a couple years. So I paid cash for a car. I bought the car last June and then I left my job either late July or early August about a year ago. Yeah, Melanie, it depends how much you earned. What you make in Social Security goes towards medical premiums. And I was watching another retirement channel and they say the average person their social security is $2,000 a month and everybody in the chat were saying, well, we don't get anywhere near that. Who gets $2,000 a month? So I don't know what the true average is, but I guess if you have a higher paying job, you would get that much. There's a cap on how much you can make, but I'm not sure how much the cap is. I was nowhere near the cap. But as far as me for retirement, my home is almost paid for, and cash flowed a car last year, and I'm comfortable. I'm not going to be planning any trips to Hawaii or a cruise to the Bahamas, but I have everything I need. Wow, Marguerite, you did really well. You bought a new car in February of 2020, and it has about 16,000 miles on it right now. And Susie works for the Fed government through TSA. They have great benefits, but pretty low pay. Oh, and then, so your husband's he's one of the unlucky ones that's not getting paid right now. So you're hanging on there till you get your first Social Security check. Well, I hope this furlough, well, your husband's not being paid, but I hope this whatever's going on in Congress stops sooner rather than later. And Sacred Wonder Miners, Maine. You're new to this stuff, and I know I've seen you before, but I have forgotten. Do you have a first name you'd rather go by? I'll tell you, the first year that you go on retirement, it takes a bit of homework. You're Tina, okay. It takes a bit of homework, there's kind of the juggling. Do you work longer? I think for me, my full retirement age was 66 years and 2 months. and I retired at 65 years and 6 months. I think each extra month I worked, I would earn an extra $9 a month, and I was pretty fried with my job. So 66 and a half, 65 and a half was good for me. And then there's the Medicare. I interviewed two people when I turned 65. I interviewed two different, they were like independent agents selling all kinds of insurance. And I picked one lady I like better, and I've been really happy with her. And when you turn 55, there's so many different options out there. The Part D, they're kind of like a PPO, and so you really have to watch what you get and decide. Do you have any health issues now? And do you anticipate having any health issues in the future? So you kind of have to plan out your medical insurance. So it's almost harder than trying to decide when to retire. And Marguerite, the key for you is to be able to live on making Social Security alone for a couple years before you retired. Well, that's a good idea. And my last couple of years, I was banking a fair amount of money and trying to get used to living on less. So, if you can do that, that's a good thing. And Melanie said she didn't have a choice. Her company had a company picked. Well, that's good. Now, my mom, of course, my dad died about 30 years ago, and I think she still has insurance under my dad's old employer. And I don't understand how that works either. I found it hard just navigating me. So yeah, there's a whole lot to think about. As you get older, we keep hearing that as we get older, the more health problems we'll have, and we'll have a lot more medical bills. So I can't. It's kind of tough to decide what to do. And let's see, Sacred Wonders. She asked, when will yeah, they kind of say that. She asked the question, when will Social Security run out of reserves? And I've heard this too for a long time. They're estimating between 2033 and 2034. And my daughter and I took a road trip yesterday, and she's 51. And we were kind of talking about Social Security. Is she going to have Social Security when she retires? And she has two sons, and they're in their, well, one's still a teenager, but the other one's 23. What's their retirement going to look like? And Marguerite, I agree with you. It's not going to run out, because we would all fire all our congressmen and senators if that ran out. And Susie she was a nanny, but haven't worked for about 6 months. So she's not bringing in anything right now. She will be one of the minority, making more in Social Security than before. Okay. So you made good income in prior years, and then you kick the can down the road. Is that the right way to say it? Probably not. You retired from the stressful job and took something that was a little more fun. So you've probably got a pretty decent Social Security. And Melanie says it's to it's be sad for years when they say a year and the year approaches and they change the year. That's very true. And I don't know how this all equates, but we're supposedly getting all this tariff money. I don't know if that'll go into the Social Security slush fund. Nobody knows. Sacred Wonders, the government needs to cut spending and work on building it up. Why is there no discussion about this? That's a very good question. And I live in the state of Indiana, and we have a law that Indiana has to balance their budget. And 2 or 3 years ago, I think we got like $125 check because there was surplus in the Indiana slush fund. $75. They say 1750 before medical. I think that's about average. Um, Although I did hear 2000. So I would say between your number and 2000, that's probably average. And honestly, if you're married, um, it's not a bad income. And Susie, who was the one that's turning 65? If you're if you're starting Social Security, if you've been divorced, if you're divorced and if you've been married more than 10 years, you can collect Social Security from your ex-husband. And so that's something to look into. And then if you're a widow, and oh, my connection is unstable. I don't know. Oh, it's stable again. I don't know if I cut out for a second or not. So, Marguerite, I'm a little under average. I don't make $2,000 in Social Security. Okay, I did freeze for a second. And I have my computer's on a battery, but I jiggled a wire. I guess I need to sit still. And I had one thing I kind of wanted to ask you guys tonight. Um, I officially am monetized. Yay! And to be monetized, to earn money as a content creator on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours. So I have 1,200 subscribers, and I just hit 4,000 this week. And Susie was the one that retired on you retired on your 62nd birthday. And oh gosh, and your husband is working for 4.5 more years just to cover our medical. Isn't that awful? Um, so anyways, I don't know what happens after you get monetized. I reached the 4,000 hours on Tuesday because you can look every day. And then when you go to this other screen, there's I think they had my hours as of October 11th this morning, and on October 11th I'd like 3954 hours. So anyways, kind of my question, I'm undecided if I want to share how much money I make on YouTube or not. So you guys come here almost every week. So do I keep it a secret, or do people want to know how much I make? I'm really kind of undecided what to do about that. And I'm guessing I won't make a whole lot for a while. You know, honestly, I do it more as a hobby. I'm not here to make money at it. Yeah, Sacred Wonders, I am thanking God for that. And I've been thinking, I don't know how much I'll make, which that's another thing you need to plan ahead too. And I think I'll keep quiet on it. There's a few YouTube people that I watch, like Buzz's Retirement Garage, and there's another oh, his name is Dwayne. Re, it's retire early on 500K. And they say how much they make every month, but they have quite a few more viewers than I do too. Than I do. I don't know that I want to share. So I think I'll keep quiet. Now if I all of a sudden get 1 million viewers, then I may share. I don't know. But when you're on the internet, how much do you keep private and how much do you tell the whole world? There's a fine line there. In fact, I spent the day with my daughter yesterday. She doesn't know I have this channel, and there's a part of me that keeps saying, "Don't say anything." So I'm kinda listening to that. And yeah, Melanie, it depends, if they watch the channels. And just out of curiosity, have there ever been any ads on my YouTube channels when you watch anything? Yeah, Susie, there's a fair amount of time that goes into making these, and I kinda look at, um hi, Dana, and I just saw your comment, and a lot of people are saying they're getting fewer views and their income's going down. And you have to earn $100 before you get a check, and I feel kinda bad. Back in August, a young lady from Canada sent me, it was a super chat or something. That's the only one I ever got, and it was 25 pounds, and I looked it up the other day, it's about $30, and I think I'm only getting $13.69. So I told her, I said I really appreciate you doing this for me, but YouTube takes over half the money, so it's not worth giving to people." And, oh, good, Marguerite says there's no ads. And I've heard, that you can request ads be run at certain times, like at the beginning of your videos or at the end, and I haven't received any information on that yet. So, I'll just see what happens. And, yeah, I haven't told my daughter yet. I think the response will be a little bit negative because she's concerned that I'll get scammed by somebody, so she's protecting me. Sacred Wonders, I would keep it quiet and did. When I had a channel, no one knew. YouTube can become YouTube became difficult to work with. That's interesting to know. And Melanie, I don't watch, yeah, if you watch less than 30 seconds, you you don't get paid for that. And I know I watch a fair amount of YouTube channels, and the ones that, 500,000 subscribers and higher, I don't always watch the ads. But the smaller channels, I do, blank them out. And, I do watch the ads, and some people, you find out they're having, some kinda hardship, and just sometimes I'll just, let the whole, video run and not pay attention to it all at all, just to help the people get some money that way. And I know there's super chat and stuff, and I'm not interested in earning money that way. And I hope my channel, seems like some channels, the channel runs for 2 or 3 minutes, and then they get, like, 3 ads, and it seems like every 3 minutes there's a new ad popping up, and I do not want to do that. So, whenever the ads start rolling, I would like to have as few ads as possible, because I'm not really, I'm not gonna live off this income. And, what else? I think that covered what I was gonna talk about. Isn't that awful? Um, I'm gonna do a monthly, a semi-monthly budget tomorrow. And Susie says too, for people she likes to support, she does it all. She waits till the end of the video, watch the commercials and everything. And she doesn't share though. I don't usually either. Yeah, I think you're right. Buzz runs his ads at the end of his lives. And I like Dwayne. Retire early, nearly 500K. I think when I did a live last week, I listed 4 channels that we talked about. So they're in my comment section for last week. And I've been debating, I'm just kind of brainstorming here. Some channels have lists of things they do to save money and stuff. So I was kind of brainstorming. I might do that tomorrow. There's some that I like to do. Yeah, Melanie, what I've read is the check goes like for the end of October, you would get a check around the 21st or 22nd. And I already have that set up. So I have a high yield savings account that it's going to go into. So it's not going into my primary checking account. And honestly, I'm, I'm a little leery about giving banking information online. I don't care who the company is. So my high yield savings account it doesn't have very much money in it. So if they take all my money, I'm not going to worry too much. And we do have to be careful. I was watching Dave Ramsey today, and this lady called in, and she was in her late 60s, and she tried this investment company, and she put her life savings into it. She had a big 401k, and she talked her brother into joining it too, and they lost all their money. And she was educated. She had been in sales for many, many years. And it's just heartbreaking to hear these kinds of stories. So we have to be really careful when we're doing investments. Make sure that companies are reputable and if they've been around a while. And I don't know if you can go to the Better Business Bureau for these kinds of companies. I know you can check out businesses, but I've worked hard all these years to make what I have, and and if I'm going to invest anywhere, I'm really going to check it out closely before I give my money to anybody. Let's see here. Oh, last Friday. Oh, Marguerite, she got 6 inches cut off. Do you like your hair shorter? It's easier to take care of. I went back to Shipshewana, Indiana last Friday. I did some more sightseeing for the straw bale art for the fall, and it was kind of fun to do. And I'm finding out I don't like driving that well. I think last week, and I went a couple weeks earlier, I would drive about 4 hours. Susie, did I do anything fun or exciting last weekend? Um, Actually, no, I didn't. Marguerite has curly hair and it still isn't short, short. It takes a few days for it to stop being mad at me after it's cut. That's interesting. I have very straight hair, so I can't relate. And my daughter's got kind of wavy hair. She's got a bit of curl to her hair. And she can kind of get away with it if she doesn't do anything. There's a bit of a wave, but she gets out the curling iron and stuff too. Yeah, Marguerite, I think you have to have 12 inches of hair to donate it. And Susie has curly hair too. My mom has curly hair. I did not get her hair. I got my hair came from the other side of the family. But my mom went white early and so did her mom. So I got the white hair, but I don't have the curly. And I didn't get my hair cut till I was 9 years old. So I've got my ponytail and I should give it to charity or donate it. And it was kind of cool. I've got 4 granddaughters. The youngest one hasn't seen my ponytail yet, but I got it out one time. And the 3 granddaughters, they were grossed out by it. Yes, I live in Indiana. I grew up in Michigan, and I've lived in Indiana since I was 16. So I kinda call it home now. But I love Michigan. In fact, my daughter and I were talking yesterday, well, I've lost a few jobs over my working career, and the only reason I'm still in Indiana is 'cause, my children, we all live in the same area. My daughter, it's about a 25-minute drive to her house, and her brother lives pretty close to her. So I've stayed in Indiana. And Susie, her curls come from her dad. Oh, you have virgin hair. You've never had a perm, color, or any other treatments, and you're not gray yet either. I colored my hair till I was 59. My hair grows so fast. I was coloring it every 4 weeks, and I did it myself, and that gets old. Sacred Wonders, do you have many trick-or-treaters? I live in a neighborhood, and I live near a school, so there's a lot of families nearby, and I have not done Halloween in decades. I really haven't. And I know I'll be glad when Halloween's over with, because a lot of my neighbors have these huge skeletons. There's a couple, they have two-story houses, and the skeletons are as tall as the house. And I don't mind pumpkins and stuff, but yeah, the skeletons not so much. So let's see, ladies are talking about hair, and Marguerite doesn't color her hair either. And Susie's is still dark brown. Marguerite thinks Minnesota's a lot like Michigan. Does somebody live in Minnesota? Yeah, Sacred Wonders, I think it has gotten strange. I'm gonna I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one. Marguerite, her hair is variegated. Oh, cool. Some of it's white, but still brown, kind of reddish blondish color. Oh, Susie, you live in Minnesota, so I'm gonna write that down. Minnesota. You get more you get more snow than we do. And I know growing up in Michigan, not sure who has more lakes, Minnesota or Michigan. I think it's probably pretty close. Oh, Marguerite lives in an apartment, so there's no trick-or-treaters. And my son, when his kids were little, they would come to my house and trick or treat. And they moved to another place, and I think they go to their other grandma's because their other grandma lives near where they live now. When my kids were young, it's probably the mid 80s, there was people were putting bad stuff in candy, and they would put like razors and apples and tainting candy. So we quit doing the Halloween things with the kids, and I just never gave out candy after that. Melanie only gets her grandbaby stuff. That Yeah, I've done that too. My grandchildren are all getting older. I have 2 that are little, but I don't see them a whole lot. They have busy lives. Yes, Marguerite, Michigan is known as the winter wonderland. Winter water wonderland, that's what you said. And Susie gets a lot of snow. Um, Susie has a good question. Does anybody want to say how old they are and where they live? Um, I'll be 70 next. I turn 70 next month, and I've been divorced since 1990. I've kind of lost track. And I was a one and done. Marguerite's 66 and lives in Michigan. Oh, you've always been single. I can't even imagine being married anymore. Melanie's 65 in Nevada and she divorced in 2001. So you've been divorced quite a while too. Um we were 33. We married young, 18 and pregnant. And um I think if we had been a few years older, we might have survived, but when you're 18, you still know it all. And so our marriage didn't last. In Sacred Woods, she's 65. She lives in Maine, married 3 children and 4 grandchildren. And Melanie likes it so much better. I do too. I kind of joked. I dated after my kids left home. And I kind of joked that when I could share the TV remote, I might think about getting married again. Of course, who watches TV anymore? I don't watch a whole lot of TV, but I never wanted to share the TV remote. And I'm happier single. I come and go as I please. And in fact, my daughter and we were kind of talking. I dated a few men, and the last guy I dated was about 20 years ago. So it's been a while. And my kids, had both left home already. And they didn't like this guy at all. And I said, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I don't know why they didn't, but I started dating him. I dated him a few months. And when you date, you always put your best foot forward, and then after a while you think, I'm not so sure about this guy. So I think if my kids had told me that they didn't like him, I would have ended it sooner. That's my dating life, and that's all I'm going to talk about it. But I don't know. I think um, I've gotten independent. After I got divorced, I went back to school, got my degree in accounting. So I established a career, and I own my own home, and I kind of like it that way. But we're all different. We really are. And my daughter's divorced too, and we were kind of talking, and we both said we think men tend to remarry more than women, and I think that's a true statement. So, um, yeah. Marguerite's been called Little Miss Independent since she was born, literally. I wasn't. When I was a kid, if someone said jump, I'd say how high. And actually, that's one reason I've never remarried is, um, the marriage wasn't that great. And I went and got some counseling afterwards, and I found out I was pretty much a doormat. Hate to say that, but I kind of was. So I grew up after I got divorced. And I like the way I turned out. Marguerite was the one that said jump. Melanie says your picker is broken. I'm not quite sure what that means. I haven't had much luck with finding Mr. Right. I have found a few Mr. Wrongs, but so that's the way it is. I think God wanted me to be single. And I have 2 children, and Oh, Melanie says she can't find a good one. I loved being a mom. I loved my children dearly. If we could figure out how to legally have kids, I guess I would have gone that route. But actually, when I was young, when I was in high school, I had decided if I didn't get married by the time I was 26, I was going to adopt two sisters and raise them. And I didn't want to adopt just one because I didn't want them to be lonely. Isn't that funny? When I was growing up, I had two brothers and I wanted a sister really bad. So I guess when I was a teenager, I thought it would be kind of fun to raise two girls. And I ended up with a boy and a girl. So that's how that turned out. There was one time, it was kind of funny. I went up to Traverse City area, Traverse City, Michigan, and I was at the Sleeping Bear Dunes. And I hadn't been divorced very long, a few years, and I was kind of boohooing, because when there was a lot of people around my age and older, and they were older couples, and they're holding hands, and I'm going, I don't have anybody. And then we walk up to the Sleeping Bear Dunes, and I hear this guy loudly say, "We walked a mile just to see this shit." And I just busted up on the inside. I thought, yep, it's not so bad being single. So I don't have to put up with a man who doesn't want to go places that I want to go. And I hadn't planned on talking about my personal life a whole lot, but my ex-husband and I get along, and oh, the adopting two sisters, yeah, that was kind of a fun thing. Oh, you got booted from the chat? Oh no, I didn't boot you out, so I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. It wasn't me. For once, it wasn't me. What was it? Oh, my ex-husband, he does modeling. He does modeling for homes, remodeling. And if I have something that needs fixing, he fixes it for me. So I'm kind of glad we get along. And for the kids' holidays, the kids' holidays. I'm thinking Christmas and Thanksgiving and birthdays. We all get together for that. Melanie raised three children and a fourth grandchild, and that's enough for me. That is a lot. Ah, Marguerite thought I've been married to a model. No, if you look at my face, I don't think a model would want to be married to me. I'm not good looking enough. Do you lose connection a lot, Susie? Oh, thank you, Marguerite. I think we are our own worst critic. In fact, I was looking at some old videos, not videos, pictures of me, and I've lost about 25 pounds in the last 10 years. And when I look at myself 10 years ago, my face, I thought, oh my gosh, my face was really round back then. So I've improved with age. But honestly, I think our character counts more. What's on the inside of us, how we treat people and in life is way more important than how we look. Susie says I've got the best of both worlds there. You don't have to put up with him, but he helps you when you need it. Yes. Melanie says good men don't always go for model types. Interesting. I think a good man wants a good woman. I mean, someone that's sincere and loving and not narcissistic. That could be a huge problem. Susie's on lives and FaceTime. She can't see any other comments by my own, except her own. Okay, I've been trying to read some of the comments. I will keep reading so you know what's going on. I use I'm on my computer. I use my computer quite a bit, so I don't know much about cell phones. I have a love-hate relationship with cell phones. And I know I watch Buzz's Retirement Garage, and I think he uses his cell phone, and he loses you can see the chat for a minute or two, and then he loses it, then he's gotta scroll all the way back to find where he was. Don't have that problem so much with the laptop. And I was gonna chat for an hour, and it's 7:52. So if you guys want to talk longer, I can. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping things up. And oh, Marguerite's got to run. And thanks for a fun retirement party. Well, that's good. And Susie's on a Chromebook. Is that like a tablet? I'm not sure. A Chromebook. I don't know what they are. Well, I hope you have a good week, Marguerite. Take care. And has anybody got any plans for the weekend? I don't I live a pretty boring life. Do you remember Downton Abbey and oh shoot, now I can't think of her name. She was Granny, and someone asked her what a weekend was, and what Granny was asking you. I'm a terrible storyteller. Someone was asking Granny about what she was going to do over the weekend, and she goes, "What's a weekend?" Goodbye, Susie. I'm glad you stopped by. Oh, Melanie, she gets her granddaughter on Fridays. That's exciting. When my grandchildren were younger, I used to babysit a lot, and I love those times. I really did. And they're all getting bigger now. I've got one grandson. He's kind of a motor mouth, and he asked me one time how come I was so short because I'm like 5 foot tall. And his mom's 5'9", and my son's 6 foot tall, and I just said, "God made me that way." And all the grandkids, they couldn't wait till they were taller than me. So I always thought that was kinda cute. And yes, it's bonding time, and, they'll cherish that when they get older, and you'll always cherish those times. And when my grandkids had, soccer games, and volleyball games, band concerts, I always try to go to those. And, I just love the Grahams. In fact, I have, my oldest granddaughter, her birthday's on the 20th, and I think she'll be 20. I'm gonna have to look this up. And then my youngest granddaughter, her birthday's on the 24th, and she's in 1st grade. I think she's gonna be 6. I have to go look at their birth years anymore. But I think the oldest is gonna be 20. And then the youngest, she's kinda cute. Well, during COVID, we didn't see each other much, and I didn't think I would bond with the youngest 2, but it hasn't made any difference. 4-year-olds are kind of fun. Uh-oh, she uses your phrases and words to her mom. Oh, no. And your daughter's going or your son or your daughter's going, "Oh, no, I can hear mom talking," right through the grandchild. I helped out. I go to a Bible study. It's called BSF. It's Bible Study Fellowship, and it's all over the country. And at our church, there's like I think there's almost 400 women that attend this, and they have nursery service, and then they have well, we meet on Thursdays, but Sunday school on Thursday for the elementary kids, and our classes, we take turns helping out with the kids. And today I was with 6 and 7 year olds, and it was a riot. I absolutely loved it. And it was kind of funny at the end. Oh, the theme was Daniel in the Lion's Den. And the teacher had slips of paper, and half the kids could read and half couldn't. And so she had the kids raise their hands that could read, and they're all going, I can read, I can read. And so she was handing out the slip of paper would only have like a sentence on it. And then the kids that couldn't read, they had to do an action, like the lion roar. So all these little girls say, I can read, I can read. Well, you find out they can read like it, the, my, the simple words. But they were so excited because they could read. So they had teachers help them read the whole sentence. So I thought that was kind of cute. And I was kind of surprised the kids they asked some questions after the story, and the kids were very insightful. I was impressed. So that was my fun this morning, was relating with younger people. And whether it's church related or not, but when you're around any young child, I mean, you see the world through their eyes, and it's just so cool to watch how they view life and get all excited over a bug or the clouds in the sky. It just kind of makes us sit back and enjoy life at their pace. But yeah, I know Hillary Clinton wrote a book a long time ago, and It Takes a Village, and it kind of does, but it helps both sides, the older people and the younger people. It's kind of cool to see the inside of everybody. And well, I think I'm going to call it a night, and I thank everybody for coming out and talking. I appreciate everybody that comes. I know Marguerite comes every week, and and Susie's been here before. And Secretina, I think she's been here a few times too. So I appreciate you stopping by. And if there's ever a topic you guys want to talk about, let me know and we can talk about whatever's on your mind. Well, hi Robin. Better later late than never. You can watch the rerun. So I'm going to call it a night, and I'm going to say a real quick prayer, and then I think we'll close. Father God, I thank you for this beautiful fall weather, and I thank you that these few women like to spend a little time together and we can chat about things. And I just ask that you be with us in the coming week. And you take care of us and love us. And I just thank you for that. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. We will see you next week. Bye.